And to add to the miracle, Jesus Christ was one of the only children in the history of humanity who spoke from the cradle. He spoke when he's a newborn infant. And it is narrated that one or two other people also spoke, but Jesus Christ was the only one who gave like a sermon. He gave a khutbah. Others, they spoke one word or two. It is mentioned one or two other children, Allah blessed with a miracle of one word, maybe a pointing or a sign. But Jesus Christ, it is as if he gave a whole sermon. And he told the people all around gathered that Allah has sent me, I am a prophet, that you should worship Allah, pray to Him. Allah has told me to be good to my mother. He's giving a khutbah, a sermon, as a one-day-old baby. And no other child ever did this in the history of humanity. And this clearly showed the people that he is a messenger of God. And Jesus Christ, he performed miracles the likes of which no other prophet ever performed. He, as we know from the Qur'an, he healed the leper, he cured the one who was born blind, he resurrected the dead by the permission of Allah, he created life by the permission of Allah, he blew into a clay bird and the bird became a living bird. No other prophet did these types of miracles. All of this was done to show the status of Jesus Christ. And yet still, despite all of these signs, the people whom he was sent to rejected him. They became arrogant and they said, we're not going to believe you're a prophet. So much so that they plotted to try to kill him. And they went to the governorship. They went to the people that were in charge, and those were the Romans. And they issued false allegations. They lied about this man so that the Romans would capture him and the Romans would kill him. And the Romans indeed attempted to capture him. But we believe, and this is where our narrative changes from the narrative of Judaism and Christianity. The other two religions believe that somebody died on the cross. We believe that Jesus Christ, Isa, was never put on the cross. We believe that somebody else was transformed to look like Jesus Christ, and this person was the traitor who betrayed Jesus. And his name in the Christian tradition is Judas Iscariot. He was the traitor. He was the one who tried to backstab Jesus, and Allah punished him by making him look like Jesus when the Romans entered. So when the Romans entered the garden, then Judas became transformed into Jesus, and they thought he was Jesus. So they captured him and they killed him a miserable death. They never killed Jesus Christ. What did Allah do? Miraculously, the angels came down and raised Jesus Christ. بَلْ رَفَعَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. And he is the only human who was raised up while alive. And we believe he is still alive to this day. Not on earth. A life that is up there. A life in the heavens. How? We don't know. But he's up there and he is alive. And we believe something that will shock many Christians. We believe he will come back. Like many other Christians believe that there's the second coming of Jesus. We believe he will come back as well. But the difference is that when they killed Jesus, many Christians began to believe that, oh, he must have been something more than human. He must have been superhuman. And then some of them even said he is the Son of God. And then eventually this group that said he's the Son of God, they won over the other groups, and this became Christianity. But the true followers of Jesus Christ never believed he was the Son of God. The true followers of Jesus Christ knew he was a prophet and a messenger. And our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to affirm the same message. And we believe that Jesus was a great man and a prophet, but not the Son of God, because God does not have a child. God does not have a son or daughter. Allah says in the Qur'an, how can he have a son when he doesn't have a wife? There's nobody equal to Allah. When you have somebody who is a husband and wife, they have a child. Allah is saying, أَنَّا يَكُونُ لَهُ وَلَدٌ وَلَمْ تَكُنْ لَهُ صَاحِبًا. How can he have a child when there's nobody that is equal to Allah to have a wife, to have a family with? And my dear brothers and sisters, having a family is a perfection for us because we die. When we die, we want somebody to live our name, to keep the family name alive. In the case of Allah who never dies, he doesn't need children. In the case of Allah who never dies, he doesn't need children. And it is mentioned by one of our famous theologians of the 4th century, his name is Imam al-Baqillani, that he was invited by some Christians of a foreign land for a debate. So he went, and it's a very long story, I'll just tell you one line in it, that as soon as he entered, he commented to the priests that he asked them a question, how is your wife and how is your children? And we all know that priests don't get married. So the priests got insulted and they said, don't you know that in our religion that men of God are too holy to have a wife and have a child? Don't you know you're insulting us by asking me how my child is? I don't have a child. So Al-Baqillani said, if you think you're too holy to have a wife and child, why do you ascribe it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he has a child as well? Why do you ascribe it to Allah when you think you're too holy to cohabit and be with a woman and have a child? You think you're better than this? Even though in our religion, a man should have a family, right? Because we are men, we are humans. And Allah doesn't have a family because he doesn't need a family. We need families because we want love, we want warmth, we want comfort, we want children to take over after us. Allah is unique. Allah is one. He doesn't need a cousin or daughter or uncle or son. And that's the point of our religion. Jesus Christ was a great prophet. He never claimed to be the Son of God, much less one of a Trinity. So my dear brothers and sisters, we as Muslims believe in Jesus Christ. And we believe we are the true followers of Jesus Christ.